Okay, here's my take on Keke and them, since y'all asked. Okay, so let me clarify some things first. Decency, according to the world, is subjective and ever-changing. And in kind, decency, according to biblical standards, is still absolutely subjective, and it really just depends on how literally you interpret the word. Let me be clear. We as outsiders have absolutely no idea what these two people agreed upon in terms of how they're going to carry themselves, their moral code, decency, acceptability, appropriateness. We don't know. I also want to make it clear that his lack of notoriety and the fact that he's not famous or not the breadwinner of the family does not make his opinion or his feelings less important than hers or whatever it is that she's trying to do. It doesn't mean that he doesn't matter or how he feels doesn't matter just because she is, in fact, Keke Palmer. See, where he messed up was he referred to her as his wife, and that she is not. See, in a marriage, two people come together who have similar ideas about life in general. Maybe we don't agree on every single thing, but there is at least a place where we can begin to compromise, to talk about reasonableness and addressing everybody's feelings in an appropriate and reasonable way. And we should not assume that these things are happening just because two people decide to be together. Baby daddy, baby mama, boyfriend, girlfriend. Those things don't necessarily happen because this is also like a spiritual thing. When we talk about marriage, and I'm just saying this because this man called this woman his wife. When we talk about marriage, we're talking about a spiritual connection, right? We're not just talking about like boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. So now I'm going to tell you the second place he messed up. Why are we talking about this on social media? Like, first of all, that is a no-no. I don't care if the two of you are no names to everybody. But the fact that she is a public figure made this whole situation even worse. You do not address important issues in your relationship in the public square. So I'll say this. The read that I got from his statement was that he just really was embarrassed. And I just personally do not think that he should be shamed for that. We all know Keke. We all love Keke. We all watched Keke grow up, so we feel like she belongs to us, right? A piece of my heart is connected to Keke Palmer. I love me some Keke Palmer. We know she's a clown. She's all about fun, and baby, she's going to entertain. I don't care who's there. She is going to entertain. But that fact has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that the optics of this scenario could definitely be construed as inappropriate. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw it, child, I said, "Oh, is she still with her baby daddy?" Because, which is a fair question. But I think that we often think that when people make money, when people have acquired a certain status, that they're untouchable and that they can't overstep or cross a boundary or do too much because they just can, because they are this person or they have this persona or whatever. But I just don't believe in that, especially if we're talking about two people who are in one relationship. I'm not talking about how we as fans might perceive her, but like two people that are in one relationship. Yeah, you absolutely can overstep. Sure you can. Okay, so here's where I set myself apart, because I need to be clear. I am absolutely not one of those women who think that because women can do everything, that they should do everything. I don't think that. I think that we all have boundaries and limits and that we should be respectful of them in the different aspects and places and areas of our lives. But, you know, call me old school, call me old fashioned. That's just how I think, y'all. Specifically in a relationship, there are always going to be boundaries that should not be crossed. And those boundaries are established based on who you and your partner are as individuals. So that's always going to change. Like your character doesn't change, but as you move through your relationships with different people, the expectations and the boundaries may shift depending on who each of you are. I mean, I know this ain't about me, but I know for sure that my husband would have been pissed if I had my booty cheeks out and my arms were wrapped around another man and we grinded and sang to each other in public, or in private. That would make him upset. It would. But at the same time, in no way does my husband regulate or speak on how I dress. And if y'all check my page, I've been doing a little something. But in all seriousness, it's because I have respect for what he finds disrespectful, one. And two, I think generally speaking, we're equally yoked in that way, where our ideas of appropriateness are in alignment. We both agree about what is or isn't a line that should be crossed, generally speaking. Do we agree on every single thing? No, but generally speaking. But back to Keke, that's not your wife, and that might be why she's in the street not carrying herself as such. A husband and a wife have a covenant, and that covenant is not in any way about control. It's an agreement based on spiritual standards that exist because you've talked about them, and exist because they just are an extension of who you are as people, and you kind of just match. And to be fair, they are not married, and such an agreement doesn't actually exist. So what am I saying? If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. 2, in a relationship, everybody matters. And your status or your income, none of those things have to do with how much your opinion and who you are to the relationship actually counts. Everybody is equal and fair in that way. 3, appropriateness is subjective and should intentionally be agreed upon, especially if you are not in a marriage covenant where you have not spiritually been tied together in that way and made decisions on that level. Okay, so if you're not married, then you absolutely need to be talking about what's appropriate, what the expectations are, and what the boundaries are. And if you are married, you already had that conversation during your dating phase, so go on somewhere. Don't play house. Generally speaking, men are both possessive and very sensitive. Generally speaking, okay? But women, ladies, we don't get to pick and choose when that's cute. When it's cute that he cares and he wants to be protective of me and he wants to do these things for me and he wants to, well, where you going? And it's cute then, but it's not cute now because I'm trying to cut loose. We don't get to pick and choose because either they present that way or they don't. And finally, I'm not arguing with none of y'all. None of y'all. I'm not arguing with y'all. I'm gonna put this tape out and y'all look at it and say what you want, but I'm not. I said what I said. Love y'all. Bye.